Hey, what's up everyone? Mace here bringing you a 2v2 today with me and my partner Hypnotica. Now after playing about 200 or so matches with Protoss during the phase 2 of beta, I decided that it might be time to branch out and try a different race for right now. So yesterday that's exactly what I did. I played a bunch of games with Hypnotica as Terran, and I came up with a build that I think would be really helpful for lots of people who are just getting into StarCraft or playing some 2v2s because it worked out pretty well. Now my general philosophy as always for 2v2s is a timed rush push. And basically what that means is that I mass some kind of basic unit alongside my ally, and we either get some kind of early tech with that unit, or in this case what I do is I get mass marines with combat shields, and Hypnotica will get zerglings or speedlings. So that's pretty much how our strategy goes, and regardless of whatever race, I would suggest trying to use some kind of strategy that involves a timed rush push, because that seems to be a very effective way to win lots of games. And so yeah, here we go. I'm going to kind of go through my build a little bit. So at 9 I go out and I build my supply depot, and I like to block off at least Star 2 for right now. And then I go for my barracks right after this supply depot is done. So whenever I have minerals, I start building my barracks right away. And intermittently between me constructing SCVs and constructing buildings, I will start to get my refinery, so that usually pops out at around 13 workers. So just going to go right now and show you who we're playing. We're playing a Protoss and a Terran. So this guy blocking off here, this Protoss, looks like he is probably going to be going Stalker since he does have that assimilator right away. So for me, right when this refinery finishes, I go in with my next SCV. So I have 3 pumping in because I'm going to need that gas as soon as possible so I can throw down that tech lab and that reactor. So you see right now I'm at 20 gas right now, just waiting for that reactor or that tech lab money to get down, and immediately I go right for it. I don't make any units. That's why I have Hypnotica Scout, so I can see what I can afford. You know, if they are dual Zerg or something and are going a fast rush, I'll immediately block off and then go a Marine here. But since we scouted out, we are okay, and I'm just going to go for the standard setup. Now at 15 I go in Orbital Command, so you're pretty much spending 150, 150, and 150 minerals consecutively with in this build. So you are going to be pretty money tight, but I mean, it's not that hard of a build to follow. So pretty much at 15 you should have at 15 supply you should have an orbital command up and 2 barracks already, 1 tech lab, 1 marine up. And right after that I will make a reactor on this guy. Since I am going marines, I find that it's nice to get this tech lab first and then the marines, because usually you don't have enough money to start pumping out or enough income rate to start pumping out marines consecutively from the reactors. So what I like to do is I like to get the combat shield research and then start pumping out marines and then wait for this reactor to finish. One thing you guys should keep track of: while I was starting out this build, sometimes I had a little bit of trouble where I was getting supply capped because I was still feeling out how many units I was actually producing. But make sure you're taking a look at your supply depot count and keep making supply depots so you're not supply capped, because that's very important. Your Zerg partner, if you are going to be doing this with Zerg, is actually going to be able to get a lot more lings faster than you are, so than you're going to get marines. So keep in mind not to get supply capped so you can stay with him. Now for my second refinery, I usually just put in a second SEV right away, because I feel like I kind of need the mineral count to keep up with pumping 3 marines consecutively as well as supply depots. So you guys see right here, oh yeah, there's my supply depot, so I will not yet be supply capped. So this guy, pretty much he is going barracks with marines, so pretty similar strategy. He is going a factory though, so we're probably going to see tanks from him early on. And this guy is getting a fast Void Ray, so he is blocking up here, standing up on his choke and trying to get some units, but he is going this Void Ray. Luckily for us though, we do have Marines, so Marines are a great counter to Void Ray. If you're talking about resource effectiveness, Marines are much better than Void Rays. So here I am, I'm pumping out my 3rd barracks. And what's nice about this strategy is that if I keep, you see right here, I have my units always hot, or my buildings always hotkeyed, so I can keep pumping SCVs and Marines as I need. But what's nice is that you have pretty much a steady supply of Marines the entire game. So it's kind of just like you have a line supplying you the whole time, which is really nice to have. So I'm really just massing Marines this whole game, and it's turns out to be very effective, and I just keep doing that as long as I don't supply cap myself. So yeah, pretty much I go this third barracks here with another reactor, so that's pretty much how this build goes, and then I'll show you later on what I decide to do. So here we are right now, we are pushing in, we decide to run through, and what's nice about these Zerglings is that you can surround Stalkers really easily. So I have this firepower to try to deal with these Zealots and these Void Rays. Now Hypnotica is going for the mineral line because he's like, well, these Void Rays are never really going to be able to charge up against me because they're just going to kill a Zergling before they get the chance to. So I am kind of here trying to get a good snipe on these Void Rays, and I start to take them down while Nookie is just taking tons of damage on his economy from these Zerglings. And here comes the Terran player, but it seems like it's a little bit too late for him to really do all that much. Hypnotica going for the Nexus because he's like, we might be in trouble here. I'm starting to get some of my reinforcements caught out because the Terran player is going to reinforce his position, and the Nexus does go down. Yeah, boy, Nexus does go down. And I'm fighting here, but I think we might lose this push momentum here from the Terran reinforcements, but luckily for us, we were able to pretty much destroy this base and any kind of production he has. I don't think he has any probes even, no. He doesn't have any probes, so this kind of just showing you again the effectiveness of a timed rush is that it takes a long time for your ally to help you out against this rush, and it's just really hard to stop by yourself. So here we are kind of finishing off the scraps here, and I'm just going to show you guys, I kind of like this replay especially because it showed you what I tend to go after. Since the game didn't win right or end right away, you can kind of get a chance to see what I do. So I do go this factory right after these 3 barracks because I decide at some point I am going to need siege tanks. So what I do is I build a reactor, and the reactor's actually for the starport. It's not to pump out Hellions or anything. So I get this reactor for the starport so that I can start pumping out medevacs. And depending on what I need, sometimes I will just start getting maybe another barracks and another tech lab. And I have my engineering base, so I'm starting up my upgrades. Upgrades are really important to have in 2v2s. They actually help out tons, and at this point we're kind of like, well, we'll just try to take this base, see what we can do. So we are able to push through that bunker at least, but supply depots are still there. He does have a tank. He doesn't yet have siege. I know he doesn't yet have siege. The tank's really weak, but it looks like we decide to back off at least for now. And I think what happens is that no, I don't see any banelings. Looks like we just decide to punch through this line here and decide to end the game. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, again, the steady supply of Marines. I really like the strategy. It's really fun to just kind of sit back and mass Marines. Again, the strategy kind of comes in your macro game, whether you are able to keep your supply going and make sure you're not supply capped, and also stay up with your tech because you don't want to be sitting here in mid-game with just 3 barracks. It's really important to keep an eye on your base at all times. So pretty much what I would have done here is lifted off this starport and taken on this reactor and then started making siege tanks out of this factory. So that's pretty much it. At some point I would have also expanded, but since this game was kind of over a couple of minutes ago, I just kind of decided to at least keep my base macro up in case I needed something to plow through here. And you might be asking yourself, why would Maze decide to go for Marines while this guy was getting siege tanks? Well, one way to get around siege tanks is just to get a bunch of medevacs and Marines and just drop on their base and kind of harass their supply line until they cry. And that's pretty much my philosophy there. I think this is a pretty effective strategy. We were able to win a lot of games with this. And yeah, so hopefully that was helpful for you guys, especially any Terran players or even just 2v2 in general. I think there's some decent insight here. I have a couple of other 2v2 builds. If you guys saw my previous video with me and TikTok, where we got Banshee rushed, kind of shows you again my double gateway strategy with Protoss. So yeah, pretty much any kind of rush. If you want to look for a Protoss build, look at that map, and maybe some 3v3s also kind of have some double gate Protoss Zealot rush builds. But yeah, that is pretty much it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video or have been watching my videos for some time and have not yet subscribed, please do, so that way you will know when you log on to YouTube. They will show you a little listing of your subscriptions, so you'll know whenever I have a new video coming up. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and stay tuned for the next episode of Maze Esports.